did you convert? I heard you can't convert to Hinduism. So I thought I'd do a little video about conversion in Hinduism and whether or not it's possible. Namaskaram, Vanakkam. Welcome friends to my new YouTube channel. I'm the Dharmic Coach. Why Coach? Because that's what I do when I'm not making YouTube videos. And why Dharmic? Because I'm a follower of Sanatana Dharma. Quick disclaimer, going into any of these videos, I'm speaking from my lived experience as someone who has adopted Hinduism, not from birth, but a little bit later in life. I only speak from my experience, not for anybody else's. So whether you are thinking about joining Hinduism or exploring it more, or you're interested in spirituality, or you are a practicing Hindu, whether someone who's adopted the path or from birth, welcome to the channel. I hope you like the content. Please remember to like, subscribe, ring the bell. I deeply appreciate it. It would encourage me to continue to make more content. I'm kind of unusual to be a Hindu. I don't match, the stereotypes or the expectations, being of European descent. So naturally, I get a lot of questions from the community who are born into the faith, mostly of Indian descent, South Asian descent. I get questions like, how did you find this? How did you end up here? Why are you coming to the temple? Very warm, inclusive questions. On the flip side, I get questions from other people of European descent, like, why did you choose that? Did you convert? I heard you can't convert to Hinduism. So I thought I'd do a little video about conversion in Hinduism and whether or not it's possible. So let's first start with the origin of the word convert. It comes from Latin, and the first half of it, con, means altogether. And then the second half of it, what we have as vert today in modern English, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the Latin, I'm not a Latin scholar, means to turn. So to convert is to altogether turn. And throughout history, it's been used in terms of religion to mean to turn away from one faith in order to accept another. That's only if you're looking at history and religion from the framework of Abrahamic faiths, so Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And more so Christianity and Islam, less so Judaism. And in those religions, to convert away from the religion, one becomes an apostate, and that's considered a grave sin. And to convert to one of those religions, or in the case of Islam, they say to revert, then it's celebrated. It's this joyous occasion. Because these religions are exclusivist, which means they believe that there's one path to heaven, there's one path to salvation. So if someone turns their back on that path, it is a grave and mortal sin. If somebody turns towards that path, it's a happy time. So throughout history, these religions have gone on this mission, this quest to convert or revert as many souls as possible. Because it's us versus them, it's black and white thinking, it's heaven and hell, and that's it. Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma, falls outside of this. Sanatana Dharma is an inclusion religion, meaning there are multiple paths. We don't have black and white thinking, it's shades of gray. Also, the idea of heaven and hell is problematic. I'll do another video about that at a later time. But generally speaking, we believe that you have millions and millions of lifetimes in which you evolve spiritually. And ultimately, all of us end up in the same destination. And depending on your branch of Hinduism, what that destination is, you'll have different definitions, but it's always good. So we don't have this need to convert others. We also believe that everybody is where they should be in terms of their path, and that includes even changing paths. So conversion, the idea of conversion, is a little bit of a problematic concept in terms of Dharmic religions. We don't look at people who take up Sanatana Dharma as converting. We see it more as being them adopting a path that's suited towards their karma, suited towards who they are in terms of personality, of psychology, who they are emotionally and intellectually, and who they are spiritually at this point in time. And spirituality is an evolving process. It's not stagnant, so we don't have, again, that strict conversion, non-conversion paradigm. Now, I've also heard arguments, and this comes specifically from people who are more academic-minded, about conversion not being possible in Hinduism. And there are a couple of reasons for this sentiment. Actually, there's a few reasons for this sentiment, more than two. The first is that especially people who are educated in the realm of religious studies, or even some anthropology students, will claim that Hinduism is ethnocentric versus universalist. Ethnocentric meaning it's a religion that is tied to a specific community, and they don't try to send missionaries out to bring new people in. Universalist being a religion that has a message that's for all of humanity. And this is incorrect. This is incorrect because if we look at the span of history, we'll find that it's not just residents of South Asia who happen to be Hindu. It's not just people from modern-day India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal. But over time, there are indigenous Hindu communities in Vietnam, the Cham people. There was, before Buddhism, a Hindu community in Cambodia. In fact, Cambodia was a Hindu kingdom. If you go to Angkor Wat, you'll still see shrines to Vishnu. Also, if you go to Indonesia, specifically Bali, there is an internal Hindu group that are Balinese by descent, not Indian, and that has to do with trade 1,000+ years ago, when spice traders and silk traders were spreading throughout the South Pacific. So of course one of the things that was brought with them was religion. And over time, when communities mingled, people adopted the faith that they either married into or they found met their spiritual needs. So we can't claim that Hinduism is specifically ethnocentric to South Asia. There's also evidence, by the way, of Hindu practice all the way as far north as Japan. We see that in the adoption of specific Hindu deities, primarily Ganesh and Saraswati. Argument number 2 against conversion. Hinduism doesn't have a conversion ceremony. We don't have a baptism, so how can you convert people? Well, you're absolutely right, those who say that. There is not a conversion process. As we talked about a few moments ago, conversion is really problematic as a concept. However, we do have samskaras. Some temples will offer the early life samskara, such as the name-giving samskara, which is given shortly after birth. It will be offered to adults who adopt Hinduism. Other temples don't do this. Some groups, Arya Samaj for example, they have a specific ceremony that they do for people who join that tradition. Also, if you look at individual sampradayas, lineages, and missions, you'll find that each of these have their own initiation ceremonies that are open to anyone as long as they meet the criteria for those ceremonies. And in many cases, birth into a caste or birth as an Indian is not the requirement. It has more to do with proper dharmic behavior. Now, kind of this last thought that goes back to this idea that Hinduism doesn't seek to convert. This is right because conversion, as it's practiced typically, as far as I'm concerned, is an act of spiritual violence. It's the going into a community or going up to an individual and saying, hey, leave the things that are closest to your heart behind. Come follow what I believe to be true. If you do, in the case of rice bowl conversions, if you do, I'll give you money, I'll give you prestige, I'll give you food. If you don't, then you're doomed for eternity. This is spiritually violent. We don't do that. We do have groups, we have sampradayas, lineages within Hinduism that have more of a mission-based mentality, meaning they want to go out into the streets, they want to give darshan, seeing the Lord to as many people as possible, to pass out prasadam, sacred food. ISKCON, the Hare Krishnas, they're probably the most visible of this in the West. Hinduism isn't without its kind of missionary side. The difference is we're not putting out a message of convert. or go to hell, or convert and get all of this material benefit. It's more of an offering to say, here is another spiritual path that is available. So yes, I am a proud practitioner of Sanatana Dharma. I am a proud Hindu. I am an American by European descent. And can I say I'm a convert or a revert? No. I have consciously chosen the path, and the path has fully chosen me. And no one told me to join. So that's it for now. Thanks so much for viewing. Remember to like, subscribe, please ring the bell if you like this type of content, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Namaskaram.